All right. We're live this time. You know what? That intro was so nice. We had to do it twice.
I may not have been paying attention. That's all right.
I saw your face in the background.
I wasn't certain if it had been live the first time it played because you know how. But it's all right.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the intro.
What is going on, LBHT crew? What's going on, B?
I mean, you know, it's a lazy Wednesday. You got the storms going and everything, and you know, I may have been on Twitter or something and just not been paying attention. There's nothing going on.
I'm still sweating. I rushed to get back home. Literally just got home and changed my shirt before we went on air. Okay. The days where I say I'm not gonna put in 4 days of work is when I put in double time. It's the worst. It's Shameful. The worst. But you know what?
Shameful.
I love my job, man. Cool people for the most part.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. You know, great atmosphere. So it is what it
sometimes.
Is. All the time. I don't let negative people bring my spirit down. Okay. What's going on in the chat here? Oh, first of all, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, it's going to get better starting right now. All right. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you give us a like, hit that subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. All right. If you're listening to the audio form of the podcast, make sure you give us a 5-star review and share with your friends and loved ones. We are close to 2,000 subscribers. Very close. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, that's on YouTube, by the way. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. Help us get over that hump. All right. And we have some people in the chat. Look who's here. And he's first. Coach said, I know what I said before, but I'm here. Coach was protesting. Coach? He was protesting anything Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark related, not because he hates them. He hates all the narrative surrounding them. He's tired of the talk. And we are too, Coach. Okay? We are too. We're not here to add to that craziness. We're here to start, you know, calling some people out. All right? So I'm glad you're here, Coach. Salute to you. And guys, don't panic. Okay? The Ravens Roundup will be back. All right? I know. We'll be back soon. We'll be back soon. We miss an episode or two and, you know, the sky's falling. People lose their minds. All right? Nothing's wrong. Okay? Everybody's working hard. Coach has been putting out tons of videos. Go and watch them. Tons of content. Check it out. Get this man to 10,000 subscribers. All right? Get him 10,000 subscribers. In fact, maybe we don't come back until he gets 10,000 subscribers. How about that?
No, Coach said we don't break.
Yeah, that's right. Salute to our guy Jared Green from the Southern Baller Show. Salute to you. And make sure you guys subscribe over there as well. D Weezy, yo, he's all about the bets. He says, gambling, you say? Yeah.
You know, Derek brought up a good point here. He says that all my burners are subscribed, I swear. If each one of you who is already subscribed would just subscribe with your second email, we'd already be over 2,000. We know you got one.
Probably be over 3,000. Right?
We know you got one.
Everybody has more than one account. Everybody has more than one account. All right? Stop being stingy and sign up with both.
I mean, how that make you look, being stingy with free subscriptions? I'm not saying anything, but I just think about it.
Just Aloe, what's going on? Says, what's up, LBHT crew? I hope everyone is doing well. Hey, salute to you, Just Aloe. Big Reg in the house says, hello, everybody. What's going on, Big Reg? All right. Host of Big Boy Talk. All right. Salute to you. Noah in the house. What's up, LBHT crew? What's up, Noah?
What's up, Noah?
Oh, look who's here. Danny D. What's up, Danny D? Hey, and look, we're gonna be talking some WNBA today. Danny D knows her WNBA. All right. So you can fact check us when we get things wrong, but don't do it too much, okay? You'll embarrass us. All right. Bazel in the house says, yo, what's up, Bazel? We got our guy Hendo in the house. Speaking of Hendo, speaking of WNBA, speaking of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, we did a video. Okay. We put it out a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It had us. It had Hendo. You guys seem to
everything
like
you need right there.
Everything you need. All right. Check it out. It's done pretty well so far. Help it do even better. Right? If you haven't watched it, go ahead and check it out. Support that. We're gonna be putting out more narrative style videos like that in the upcoming future here and over at the Rogue Pod. So if you haven't subscribed to Rogue Pod, right there, the Rogue Pod, ROUG. Okay, so go over there, check them out. Who else we got in here? We got Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy? Salute to you. Ferris says I was so close. Okay. Oh, confused. He said he was so confused about the two intros.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And speaking of Ferris will be joining us here. He's already joining us. He's backstage, but he's going to be joining us after the Black History Fact. By the way, Ferris wants y'all to know that he is very offended that he is not up here to present the Black History Fact. Okay. Because he loves black people as well. All right. He's cracking up backstage.
And is in fact a quarter black himself. When we get the NCAA online dynasty going, Ferris Mathana will be my quarter black.
What's going on, Killer? Killer Cam in the house, man. Thanks for coming through. We got Urban in the house. Says mid to last. Hey, there you go. Yolanda, salute to Yolanda from Ravens Talk with Yolanda. All right, she was on the show last week. Great episode. You need to check it out if you haven't watched that. Thanks for coming through. Our cousin Davon in the house. Davon says hashtag LBHT crew. Yes, sir. Thanks for coming through. All right, let's get through the rest of these. Agent E, what's going on? Agent E says, what's up, fellas? Agent E. Agent E. Do not say what's up and dip out and come back at the end and say what's going on.
Pay attention.
We got some good stories here. Don't come back at the end and be like, what did Jonte Porter do?
I appreciate you coming back though, but like it kind of hurts when you're like, what are you talking
about? Eric L's in the house. Salute to Eric L.
Oh, Eric.
He says, greetings, everyone. Have a most excellent show, brother, man. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Always good to see you in here. All right. Who else we got in here? Ryan C in the house says, good evening, LBHT crew. How everyone doing? Ryan. We're doing great, Ryan. Thanks for coming through. All right. I think we hit everybody. Yes, we did. Okay. Ferris is patiently waiting. All right. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the Black History Fact. We're going to talk some Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese controversy, right? The nonsense that Stephen A continues to say. He continues to put his foot in his mouth and then play victim afterwards. We're going to discuss that. That idiot Pat McAfee. Oh, boy. We got a lot to talk about with that. And we got to talk about gambling in sports, okay? That's going to be the court of public opinion. We have two guys. This is more of a, what do you call it, Yolanda? Case law?
The people versus the degenerates.
Okay.
So we'll get into that.
Okay. All right. And the degenerates are being represented by Jonte Porter and what's the guy's name? Marcano. I'm not gonna try and say his first name. Ferris will know it. Ferris is here to fill in the blanks where we can't get things right. Ferris, he knows his stuff. All right. So we're very happy to have him here. Very happy to have him here for the WNBA talk because he is a WNBA connoisseur, if you will. All right. He is a subject matter expert, yes, if you will. Okay. A SME. That's right. He's laughing. that's a real saying, Ferris.
Yeah. You know about SMEs?
All right. We're going to get this thing started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History Fact. And B and Okole have a Black History Fact for you.
Welcome to this week's Black History Fact. Simone Biles, a native of Columbus, Ohio, born on March 14, 1997, has etched her name in the annals of gymnastics history. Her performances, marked by their consistency and complexity, have set her apart. At the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics, she became the first U.S. female gymnast to clinch 4 gold medals in a single games. Additionally, she is the first gymnast to secure 6 world all-around titles in 2013, 15, 2018, 19, and 2023. Biles has set a new benchmark with a staggering 30 world championship medals, including 23 golds. She has also claimed 9 U.S. national all-around championships in 2013, 2016, 2018, 2019, 2021, and 2023-2024. She was part of the U.S. teams that won gold at the 2014, 2015, 2018, 2019, and 2023 World Artistic Gymnastics Championships. Her journey to greatness began at 6 during a daycare field trip to Bannon's Gymnastics, where her natural talent was spotted. This marked the beginning of her path to becoming one of the most decorated gymnasts in history. Simone Biles's achievements reflect her relentless hard work, unwavering dedication, and extraordinary talent. She continues to inspire and redefine the boundaries in the realm of gymnastics.
Man, how many medals does she have total? Did Cole say it in the...
It was around 30, I believe you said. And I realized I didn't really point out why that was the Black History Fact. She just won her 9th U.S. all-around title, which extended her own record.
Hey, salute to Simone Biles. Let me get 1 bronze medal. I mean, the ego I would wreak havoc upon society with 1 bronze medal. You couldn't tell me anything. All right. What?
There's a third person here now. What's going on, Ferris?
I'ma need a day off. I think I call Ferris up.
It's my favorite black man, Mr. Ferris Muthana.
You man, man, you got me out here.
How you doing, Ferris?
I'm doing so, guys. I'm doing good. I just want to point out the fact she's the greatest athlete of all time because, let me tell you all this why. Because she does her sport better than any other athlete does their sport, period. Like in American football, they say, well, who's the GOAT? Some people say Jerry Rice. Some people say Lawrence Taylor. It's a debate. Basketball, it's a debate. Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. Baseball, it's a debate. You got Barry Bonds. You got Ken Griffey. It's a debate. There's only 2 sports where there isn't a debate, period. It's hockey and it's gymnastics. Ain't no debate. In hockey, it's Wayne Gretzky, period. Everyone after him and with him always playing for second because the man leads the all-time hockey in goals, and he's the all-time assist leader as well because...
Not to lose the goals, though.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So let me ask you, is Wayne Gretzky the 2nd greatest athlete of all time then?
Yes.
Mm. So I'm gonna disagree with you slightly on that, Ferris. I see where you're going.
I see.
Yes. I do agree. But what about Usain Bolt?
It's a good point. But then with Usain Bolt, you talk about Carl Lewis, but then you say Carl Lewis, he was also caught cheating in 1988, but no one talks about that because everyone else was cheating in 1988, like Ben Johnson and everybody.
I slightly disagree. I don't think they're the greatest athletes. I think they're the most dominant athletes. You said most dominant athletes of all time, right? They dominated the sport better than anybody else. Yes. Greatest athletes,
the athleticism it takes in gymnastics is pretty
gymnastics,
insane.
yes. So like if you're making an argument for Simone
that's why I think
Biles,
she's the greatest athlete of all time is you got the bounce beams, the bars, and the running thing where they jump. I don't know what that's
Yes.
called.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I don't want to say it's not skill, but it's all athleticism.
Yeah, it's literally it's pure unmitigated athleticism and balance because
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And not saying Wayne Gretzky or any, obviously Usain Bolt, is an athlete. They're all athletes, but dominant for sure.
The
Most
vault.
dominant. Yeah. The vault. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So, yes. All right. Great topic to start this off with. But Ferris, it's finally happened. Okay. We've talked about this since last year. Okay. Talking more WNBA on this channel, right? Collaborating with you. All right. You've been busy getting ready to take over these mainstream media networks. All right.
Get all up in the SME.
Yes.
Shmee.
Yes.
That's not how you. That's not how you. That's
Not
all
a
right.
SME.
It's
Something
me.
not a SME.
Subject matter expert. It's
Okay.
me. All right. And you are, man. You know your stuff. Okay.
I know some things. Some
yeah.
things.
So WNBA has been getting more buzz than it's ever gotten. All right. Ratings are through the roof for them. Attendance, everything is up. Thanks to Caitlin Clark. All right. And Angel Reese, because people like to leave out Angel Reese, but Angel Reese, she's impacting the viewership as well. I try to catch all her games, but there's been a lot of talk recently about the hate that Caitlin Clark gets from the rest of the women in WNBA and how they are jealous and they're haters, and they shouldn't they shouldn't disrupt the cash cow, if you will, right? They shouldn't be playing her so hard. These are takes that people are saying. She needs to shine in order for the sport to grow, and they're shooting themselves in the foot by playing such physical defense against her and not showing her enough love. What say you on this, Ferris? Like, are they ungrateful, and should they just be letting her be a star?
How is Gatorade gonna match his shirt?
He comes ready. That's why.
That is incredible, Ferris. I love it.
What are your thoughts on this, Ferris?
Man, it's a bunch of crock. It's a bunch of crock, man. It's
Spoken like a
insane.
true 50-year-old.
It's like, bro, like there's these people, right? It's basically her fans who starting to watch the WNBA, and they're realizing like, oh, this is a very physical league. This has been a physical league since its inception in 1997. A lot of people weren't there when they were elbowing and throwing Rebecca Lobo to the ground, because Rebecca Lobo was, the UConn golden child, the first UConn golden child. Like, she started off the dynasty and she was famous for it. And people were also taking her out. Candace Parker, her rookie year, I think me and Brodny talked about this a couple of days ago. It was a game against the Detroit Shock.
Yeah.
And so they're at a rebound, and they're getting physical, because they're both forwards. And then Candace Parker like shoves this one girl, right? And this one girl, she doesn't just take the shove lightly. She gets angry, then basically shoves Candace Parker. She falls to the ground. And before Candace Parker can go up, the girl then again runs her over once again. And a brawl, ensues.
Ran her
a
over,
brawl, full-on
swinging.
brawl. And everyone's swinging. Candace Parker is in the middle of the melee. And I think Cheryl Brown, I think that's her name is, she's trying to, you know how crazy this brawl was? This brawl was Rick Mahorn. Everyone knows Rick Mahorn as one of the bad boy Piston enforcers, who was the assistant coach to the Detroit Shock head coach, who was Bill Laimbeer. By the way, Bill Laimbeer, one of the greatest WNBA coaches of all time. That's a fun fact. Throw me the hell off.
The Chicago Sky team? Was he the GM?
No, the Las Vegas Aces. He built
I'm sorry,
the
that's
Aces
Sky.
team.
The Aces. Yes.
He built the Aces that currently constructed. He built that thing. Yeah, Danity said it right. So Cheryl Brown, I think her name is Cheryl Brown. She's trying to break it up. And Rick Mahorn shoves Lisa Leslie to the ground. This is Rick Mahorn, man. He's 6'7". He's like 6'11". Shoves her to the ground. They break it up. I think there's probably an ejection. Cheryl Brown, the Detroit Shock player who tried to separate them, is grabbing her knee off to the side. Everyone's like, what happened with Cheryl Brown? She gets injured. Mm-hmm. She gets injured. Kelsey Plum, if you guys are paying attention, which I know these people aren't, they never valued the WNBA until Caitlin Clark got there. Kelsey Plum in interviews kept saying, this is a very physical league. My first year when I was in San Antonio, because the Vegas used to play in San Antonio, the Silver Stars, I got my derriere whooped every night, and I was being thrown around like a rag doll. I wasn't strong enough. I was not strong enough. And guess what she did? She got in the gym and got stronger. She got on a weight program, a weightlifting program, and she got stronger. Caitlin Clark right now, like we always say with rookies, they're good. Their skills probably there. They don't got the strength yet. They're still maturing because roughly they say full maturance is around 25, 26-year-old, where your body's fully mature, your brain's fully mature. You're there. You've reached it.
Yep.
So she still has a couple years left. And look at her frame. She's skinny. And Kennedy Carter, people act like she got punched in the face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she didn't bump her that hard. But obviously it was a cheap shot. It was a cheap shot. It was, in between plays and all that. But it wasn't, she didn't run her over. But you said it exactly right. Caitlin Clark is physically weak right now compared to the other women in that league, and she needs to get in the gym, and she will. She'll get in the gym, she'll get stronger, and they won't be able to do that to her anymore. The problem with the discourse is, you had the one paper in Chicago, like it says in the ticker, talking about, anywhere else this would have been assault. But you also, you're not getting the same reaction because the same thing's happening to Angel Reese. She got pushed down to the ground, while they were running up court. Alyssa Thomas grabbed her by her neck and slammed her to the ground while she was in midair.
Thank you. That's a more dangerous play.
Yeah, a much more dangerous play.
Caitlin Clark, when she gets hip checked by, the reason it's a foul, it's away from the play and she got hit. It's a foul. Yeah, it's a foul.
Yeah.
She wasn't defenseless. She saw Kennedy coming. Angel Reese is going up for a rebound, and Alyssa Thomas grabs her by the throat. It's a more dangerous play, and she was assessed the flagrant 2, and she was kicked out. It was probably good. But people looked at that play and were like, oh, that's dirty. That ain't cool. And then they moved on.
Yeah.
And then they moved on. They didn't spend a week on a dissertation because Bob Costas went on CNN and was with Kerry Champion, and he said the reason no one cared about that play, even though that play was a worse play, is that it was a black woman doing it to a black woman.
Yeah,
that's the only reason no one, you know what I mean? But this time, was it a foul? Yes, Kennedy, of course, fouled her. Yeah. Let's not act like Kennedy was like, you know what, I'm going to rip her head off.
Right. And I particularly don't care that it happened to Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark's done that to other people. She did that in college.
She did that in that same game.
Oh, yeah.
To Kennedy Clark,
but I mean in college, she walked up to a girl and just full on pushed her on the ground, outside of a play. And she's one of the biggest trash talkers out there. Of course, you're going to get reactions like that, and people are going to try and rough you up when you can't take it, and it gets in your head, and she's complaining to the refs all the time. Of course, people are going to continue to do it until you make them pay for it.
Exactly.
So I got a couple of thoughts, but first, Ferris, Coach has a question for you. He says, "How old were you in '97, Ferris?"
I wasn't born.
Okay, there you go. Okay, a couple of things.
I was a bun in the oven.
There you go. I think Caitlin Clark is going to be just fine. She's physically weak, like most rookies, but I think she's mentally tough. The crying, and she does to the ref and everything like that. She did that in college. That's just part of her game, right? I'm trying to get calls, and she said it herself. This is a physical league. I expect to get knocked around. It's going to continue. That's the way it is.
Yes.
The WNBA, because it's more condensed, right? It's
12
condensed.
teams.
Yes, it's only 12 teams. You have talent that are great talent, that are very good, that can't make a team.
Yes,
right?
People get cut routinely.
They can't make a team.
Can't make a team or are barred from playing in the team in the case of the Washington Mystics. Who are
or because Jose, like Rakia Jackson, who was the fourth pick. Yeah. She was the 4th pick overall by the LA Stars. People literally thought she was gonna get cut. Like, could she? She's the
right. But that's what I'm saying. That's how competitive.
Mm-hmm.
That's how competitive the league is. Naturally, it's gonna be more physical.
Yes.
Right. Naturally, so it's a tougher league. It's a tougher league to play in than the NBA. Yes. Relatively speaking. relatively speaking. Obviously, the men are more, are bigger, stronger, faster, right? But relatively speaking, it's a condensed league. There's only so many spots, in the league, and yeah, man, they're gonna go for your next. So it's not a place for rookies. No sport, I feel like, is a place, is a rookie's world. Not in the NBA, damn sure not in the NFL,
No.
right? Baseball, they don't even let you play out of college.
No.
Right?
Yeah, and and it's rare that a high prospect in baseball comes in and dominates. They usually stink for the first year, and then people like Mike Trout happen, and he's second in MVP voting, but he's a unicorn. He's not a human being.
Well,
but most of the time you suck.
But that's how everybody wants to treat Caitlin Clark. Like she's a unicorn. She's a unicorn in the sense that she's captured the country's attention with her popularity.
Yes.
And they want her to be something that she's not. She's not that unicorn. She's not going to go down as the greatest player of all time. I think she'll be great, or really good at least. I don't think she's going to be better than Diana Taurasi, right?
No,
she's not going to be better than Asia Wilson,
no,
Candace Parker,
and
right?
in reality, she's not the best of this rookie class so far.
Right. And again, that's okay. She can have all the popularity. They compared her to Steph Curry. I think her game, she'll find her game. She will drop those threes. She'll be exciting to watch. Right? It's fine. Let it happen naturally. This whole thing about they need to bow down to her and like they're shooting themselves in the foot by playing the way they're playing. That means you either don't watch sports at all, or you do, but you don't really care about the WNBA. You're just talking.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's really what it is.
The team has a problem, right? So when that happened, her teammates saw that happen and let it happen and then moved on, right? There's been a lot of talk about how her team should have stood up for her, right? They should have stood up for her. It's a two-way game. You stand up for me, I stand up for you, right? So them not standing up for her shows me one thing. She hasn't ingratiated herself in that locker room. They do not care about her in that locker room. Because if they did and you ingratiated yourself in that locker room, someone would be like, hey, yo, Kennedy, what's up with that? And they would have gotten in Kennedy's face like, that's not cool, homie. And you would have been in their face saying like, yo, don't do that. That's not a basketball play. And they would have been talking to John. They let that happen because that means you have not ingratiated yourself in the locker room because you think you can walk in this locker room like I am me. And like LeBron James, when he was walking into the Cavs locker room, there is video of his Cavs teammates saying, man, ain't no 18-year-old gonna come in here and change anything. Who the hell does he think he is? Darius Miles, Carlos Boozer, everyone was saying like, who cares about
Ricky Davis?
Ricky Davis, like
my favorite person ever.
Yeah, like
I thought they drafted him to pass me the ball.
Exactly, like you are his. Like it proves that her teammates are like, man, whatever, man, forget that, man, whatever. That means you haven't done the work to earn their love and trust, because it's a two-way street. I don't have and we must forget too, she plays for a horrible organization. The Indiana Fever literally had the last two picks first overall, for a reason. They're bad.
And second the year before.
And the second the year before. They're bad. Their coach stinks. And the reason her coach finally said something is because she wasn't saying this when Aaliyah Boston was getting assaulted last year. You know what I mean? She didn't care. She only said this for that because Caitlin Clark's fans are calling for her head, saying you should be fired. You're not good. So she's trying to be like, I'm riding for our girl. When literally she probably's like, I'm probably getting fired because she's not good at all. And we're talking about an organization that had Tamika Catchings, and we were winning WNBA championships with Tamika Catchings. Look how far they've fallen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that coach is getting fired no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, Jared. Says we cooking. Thank you. She's getting fired no matter what, because this is a media circus, and you see how everybody reacts to every little thing that Caitlin Clark does. There's going to be a demand for the team to be good and her for to be good a lot faster. Not just from the media, right? From from Nike, from all her, all these companies that are endorsing her. They want to see a return on investment sooner rather than later. Now, I think there's, Nike's smart, right? They've been in business forever. They know it's going to take a little time for her to develop, and they're willing to make that investment, that long-term investment.
Exactly.
Which is why people need to stop clutching their pearls right now, because nobody's expecting her to dominate. She's not going to dominate. Her team's not going to win anything. Okay, they are a bad team. They have some young talent on there. They just have to grow and compete over time and wait their turn. And Nike is going to be there every step of the way to capitalize on that and also to promote them. So the sport is going to grow. The sport has already started to grow. That's the other thing I want to push back on a little bit, is how this cash cow thing, and how these ladies are shooting themselves in the foot. They wanted all this attention, they're finally getting it, and now they're hating. The league was already on the upward tick. Last year was one of their highest rated seasons ever.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. The Aces have superstars on there. All right. You see Asia Wilson doing more commercials. Okay. You see Kelsey Plum doing commercials.
They sold out their season tickets. Las Vegas did. They've sold out every home game. They've had to move home games because they needed to accommodate more seats. I believe them in New York are the only ones who've sold out their season tickets. Chicago has moved games to, like, their game against Washington. Washington had to move it to the other stadium because Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso are coming. You know what I mean? It's not just like they're moving stadiums for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, wonderful player, but like you said, man, she's not generation. She's a great player. She's a great number one pick, but I've seen her before. I haven't seen another Candace Parker yet. I haven't seen that. That woman is generational. You talking about the only rookie of the year ever to win MVP in the WNBA. She rolled up as a rookie, won MVP and rookie of the year, and said what? She took the LA Sparks from Lisa Leslie.
Yeah.
You don't do that to Lisa Leslie. Unless you're Candace Parker, you do that to Lisa Leslie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
you're right. And I think there's a lot of really good young rookies out, in this class, and that are going to be coming into the league. The league's in good hands, and they already have a abundance of talent. You don't need to hyper focus on one. Yes, Caitlin Clark is bringing a bunch of new eyes to the sport, right? But she's not going to be the sole reason why they stay. If you're into basketball, you're going to have those fanatics that are only there for narratives. They don't really watch the sport. They don't really care about basketball or WNBA. They just want to see a spectacle. Those people are never going to last.
No.
Right? Because even if Caitlin Clark becomes everything they want her to be, they'll find a reason to hate that too. Right? Because we did this with LeBron James, right? Oh, LeBron, he's the king. They crowned him the king. Oh, he's not gonna live up to that. He lived up to all that and more, and people still hate.
Also, too, man, what I like about the WNBA is, damn it, I had a thought. Shoot. Oh, Cameron Brink was on Podcast P with Paul George. Great podcast. Now I know why he never shows up in the playoffs, because he's too busy making the podcast. Good for you, my guy. She said something. She was like, hey, man, like, we were on the upward trajectory, but we realized when you water grass grows. So the media had all the capability to make women's college basketball more than it was, but never did. And then they finally did. The women's tournament prior to a couple of years ago never aired the early rounds. Never. ESPN never aired the early rounds. They would air like the Elite Eight, probably the Sweet 16, definitely the Final Four. But they never ever aired the early rounds. And you never saw the evolution of the tournament. But that's the way the media operates, man. This is the way the media operates, man. The media makes you know what it's important. People be like, and they also have the metrics and say, what do you guys like? What do you guys don't like? That's true. Like, are we gonna talk about Monica McNutt later? Okay, good. So like they have the stats, right? They'd be like, when we talk about the Cowboys, our stuff peaks. But then like when we don't talk about the Cowboys, our stuff dips. But the reason it dips is you talk about it, then you never talk about it again. But if you could talk about it consistently, you then make people be like, okay, if they keep talking about this, this has to be some level of importance.
Yeah, it's something I should know about.
Something I should know about. Like they keep talking about this. So what the hell is this? So then you keep talking about it, and you then, like the media tells you, the grasses grow always when you put, they had all the capabilities. They had all, like, Fox was like, we're going to do like a Caitlin Clark cam. Y'all could have done that when Kelsey Plum was looking to break the record. Mm-hmm. There was no hubbub, hoopla about when Kelsey Plum broke that record. Where was that? People would be like, oh, she's just famous because she was going for the record, Ferris. Yeah, but Kelsey Plum was going for the record a couple years ago.
Yeah, this is true. Just I was saying, the NBA Finals used to be on tape delay. That's right.
Exactly, man. Because let's talk about also the age of the leagues. The NBA
has like
started in 1949.
Head start.
yeah. Well, it started in 1949, right?
Yeah.
The WNBA is only 28 years old. The NBA, the first 28 years was 1977. In 1977, the NBA was in jeopardy.
Yeah.
They had, like they said, finals on tape delay. Players out here doing cocaine left and right. They had a drug problem. And, in America, we forget about it. This is a very racist like a racist country. They said we have a black problem. Our league was too black. The white fans are fleeing. They don't want to keep seeing black people. So, and then in 1979, they were gifted someone from God to kind of save the NBA, and Larry Bird in a sense. So there were also problems for the NBA. And we're talking about the WNBA, who 28 years in is getting record profits literally last year.
Not this year. Last year.
Record profits.
I mean, this year too, but before this year, last year was record profit. Exactly.
So you talking about league that is 75 years old, league that's 28 years old. When the 75-year-old league was in his 28th year, they were inches away from folding, and they were having a problem. And the WNBA is going up. And I'm not a big fan of, like, you know what? You know who pissed me off with some of their comments? Louis Riddick pissed me off with his comment, where he went on a diatribe talking about, like, I'm an avid women's college basketball fan. I used to watch it all the time, and this is the first year I started watching the W. Well, there it is. You just proved you're a fraud, because if you're an avid women's college basketball fan, why did you not follow the women you followed in college into the WNBA?
That was enough. I never want to see you play basketball again.
Exactly. Like, you graduated, I don't want to see you ever again. 2, you played safety in the 90s. Your literal job was to be dirty and dangerous. Your literal job was dirty and dangerous. And he then says, oh, but I talked about when Angel Reese got clotheslined. Yeah.
Congratulations.
You said on an Instagram post, dirty AF, and then that was it. But with Caitlin Clark getting hip checked with a flop, you were right here writing dissertations like you want a master's degree on media economics or something.
Yeah.
That hip check made me never want to watch WNBA ever again.
Yeah, too over the top with it, right?
Yeah,
it's too
literally,
over the top.
Bro.
Like, they could have just talked about it and said, that's cheap. There's no need for that, and keep it moving. But I guess it's still attention you're bringing to the sport, but that's the type of attention I don't like, and that narrative I don't like, because the problem is this. This is something that hasn't really been discussed, that it is a possibility. What if she turns out to not be that good?
Yeah.
Right. And then now you have a problem, because when you have somebody that's that overhyped and they can't live up to that hype, right, that hurts your sport. Okay. Mm-hmm. Remember Freddie Adu for soccer?
Oh, Jose. Jose.
Freddie Adu was he was supposed to bring bounce to the force.
Yo, man, he was supposed to take soccer in America to the world, man.
He was the chosen one. You right?
He was the chosen one, yeah.
And he went after that first game, and people were like, "What are we watching?"
Yeah, man. It was like, what?
Right.
Yeah,
he wasn't that good,
yeah.
and soccer in America didn't take off. That
Nah,
I mean,
man.
everybody watched that first game, right? Everybody
Mhm.
watched that first game to see what this phenom would do. This phenom, what, 13, 14-year-old, see what he
Yeah,
what he would do.
he was pretty young. DC United signed him pretty young.
Yeah, and he didn't do anything. He
Yeah.
never really did anything, and
Nah.
and that was it. So you have to be careful and how you promote. I don't think Caitlin Clark's Freddie a dude. I'm not saying.
Oh no, yeah, no. We hope not.
But
No offense to Freddie.
that is a risk that you run. When you hype her up this much instead of just letting her go out there and just play her game.
Man, this man said Freddie. Man, this man said Freddie or don't.
Agent E is saying they need to stop the drama and just play ball. That's what they're doing. The drama is coming from outside. Like when somebody, I don't know, like Agent E comments, WNBA commissioner should suspend and fine any player that's going to take cheap shots at her. That's drama. They're playing ball. Have you never seen basketball before, Agent?
Nah,
it happens on every level of the sport, men's and women's.
Yeah, man, because here's the thing, man. So, like, last night, Brianna Stewart, you want to talk about, has a great game. She dropped 33, 14 points. And, Liberty, like, beat the living snot out of their opponent by double digits, like they usually do.
It's Fever, wasn't it? Didn't they play Fever?
Was it? No, it wasn't the Fever. No, that was a. See, here's the thing that's funny about that, Jose.
Oh, that's yeah.
Here's the thing that's funny about that, Jose.
2 nights ago.
So the Sky game and the Fever game happens, and then the Fever play again against the Liberty, but no one talks about that game because Caitlin Clark sucked that game.
Yeah.
She was trash. But so last night, Brianna drops 33 and 14. What's 33-14? Damn. And the first question they ask her is not like, what zone you in, dropping 33-14? Like, Brianna, can you take us through how you was feeling tonight? They said, so Brianna, how do you address the physicality of the league? Blah blah. And then you see her roll her eyes, put the paper down, and say, "Oh my God, y'all is on my nerves." She was like, and then she answers the question like, "Yeah, it's physical. It's been physical. It's been physical since the beginning of the league. You're going to have to deal with it."
Yeah.
That's what I had to do. I had to deal with it. Because Brianna Stewart coming out of, UConn, she was gangly. She was, like, skinny as hell. And she wasn't very good with the Storm, like, out the gate. In her first year, she had a great year. I think she won Rookie of the Year. But she wasn't like Brianna yet. And then the next year, she was Brianna.
Yeah.
And then she won,
Let's push this along.
If you want to watch a soft league, if you want to watch a league with no physicality, go watch the NBA.
I did want to add Ferris this, just going away from the Caitlin Clark thing for a moment.
Well, we're still gonna.
we're gonna come back.
Malcolm and Steve.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to it. Okay. But Ferris, real quick, because I am a Sky fan and I watched most of that beating they took from the Liberty. Dana Evans, why?
They don't have an actual point guard. Dana Evans, I think, is a 2-guard. Personally, she's a 2-guard. She's a run and gun and 2-guard. I don't think she can lead this team.
How come she's not gunning very much then?
Well, I don't know.
Why she shooting?
Personally, I still don't know what the offensive game plan from Taretha Witherspoon is, because when Camila Cardoso came back, she said we got to feed the ball to Camila and Angel more. Yeah. So does it mean that the guards need to start dumping the ball in? Probably.
The offensive game plan seems to be let's get back on defense.
Yeah, they're a very good defensive team, but the problem is you need to score to help your defense. You need to sustain possessions on the offensive end.
Daddy, I don't care if she's the best perimeter defender. Somebody has to score.
Yeah.
Somebody got to score, Danity.
Yeah. I honestly, I think that they would benefit from a probably a Paige Beckers. Yes. They would definitely yes. They definitely would benefit for that. Same thing with the Mystics, who are I love how no one's talking about how the Mystics are 0-9. I know. Like no one.
We gotta get them a few wins, man.
We gotta
get them a few wins.
Hey, that brunch in game deal that they have going on, There's a reason for it.
That's how they mitigate. Like, you're probably gonna watch our team lose, but come here and have mimosas and
unlimited mimosas. Please
AJ
drink as
says
many as you can.
they're playing dirty against her because she got that $28 million shoe deal. No, they're not. They're playing. No, not so. They're not. We just went over the history of the league and all the rookies that have been roughed up. It's happening to Angel Reese too. She's not being targeted, okay, because she's Caitlin Clark.
Even as that's the case. So what? Would that be the first time that a rookie that's highly touted, that gets a big shoe deal, gets targeted?
No, it wouldn't.
No, and you're for it when it happens any other time, because it's the welcome to the league rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
People love that in every other sport.
Yeah,
they love it. So everybody loves a welcome to the NFL hit.
Yeah. Also, too, for years we talk about how physical it has been for years, right? For years, it was okay when this is a predominantly black women league. It was okay these black women hitting each other and punching each other and like fighting. We're fine with that because who gives a damn about them? But when you start hitting a white cash cow or white savior up, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, but it's okay, if literally like 4 years ago, Kaylani Brown and like somebody else, they fought and like someone like snatched her like her edges off, and they fought, and and no one cared about that. No one cared about when like Liz Cambage out here fighting people. It was like, whatever, they finally got Liz Cambage out the league because they're like, you're just not a good person. Period. You're just not good. You're a racist.
Jeremy, why are they playing physical with other players besides Caitlin Clark? If you think it's just about a $28 million shoe deal, why are they getting physical with other players as well?
Yeah, like
why have they been getting physical with players for the entire history of the league?
Let me read this. So this is a comment you respond to?
Yeah. My bad.
So Jeremy says, Brodny, you don't think you would be jealous of not getting 28 million in your, or she get basically somebody's getting 20 million and you're not, when they're getting paid like 250,000. Sure, right? Sure, but does that mean they're going to resort to violence, or is it going to be, I'm gonna show her up when I get out there. Okay, I'm gonna drop more threes than she is, so I can show people why I need some of that money and not her.
Right, and Jerry's saying it can be both competitive and jealousy, but why is it jealousy with Clark and competitive with everyone else?
Well, yeah, that's the thing too.
And Danny says it here, y'all
exactly
want them to be jealous.
Yep, the angry black woman narrative, absolutely. Like, man, these black women are always angry. They're always hating. What is wrong with them? Nah, that's bro, exactly. They ain't. Like,
jealousy is in every sport, man.
Like literally, yeah, it's in every sport, and literally, like, we're giving y'all examples of how other rookies, black and white, being beat down in the league's history, and it's not her. It's not just with her. Like, she's not special. She's not special. What happened to her is not some out of the norm, like, out of the ordinary thing. Like, nothing's happening to her is unique. Every rookie says this. Every rookie said this, black and white. You're going to get tested. It's a small league, 12 teams. Each team got a minimum of 4 to 5 stars. Like, I'm not talking about role players. I'm talking about bona fide stars. If there are 30 teams, the Vegas Aces, like, stars would all be on all other teams, and they would be the best player on those teams. Like, that's how condensed the talent is. You can't hide. And they're going to test you because can you survive?
Yeah, and the reality, too, is people will get upset because they don't want to see women being that aggressive and that physical. Mm-hmm. Everybody, and there's been a bunch of you who are in this chat right now always come in here claiming you want to return to the physical 90s NBA when it was when you had to pay a price to go in the paint and the league wasn't so soft and blah blah blah, and now you see somebody get hip checked and it's like, oh my God, suspend them.
The same thing happens for women's boxing, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Women's MMA
and women's MMA.
Not because like
boxing, you have shorter rounds. They don't want them to go to full 12. A woman gets rocked a little bit. They want to jump in and stop it. Let them fight. Mm-hmm. They're professional boxers. They've trained for this. Hey, shout out to Money Making Mitch for a $3 donation. I don't remember nobody coming for Lonzo Ball's defense when Pat Beverly did him dirty.
Picked him up 94 feet. Picked him up 94 feet and went after him for the entire game. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and afterwards said, your daddy did this to you.
Exactly. Literally, man, because it's insane, bro. Like I remember there was a time where people were like, you know what, I hate LeBron. He always hugging and kissing his teammates, always friendly. Why is Josh Smith and Dwight Howard always hugging each other? They're too lovey-dovey. Man, I miss the day, like Brodny said, I miss the days when these people hate each other. You want to watch a league that the people actually hate each other? Go watch the WNBA. They don't like each other, and they don't hide it.
And I want to say thank you again to Money Making Mitch for the donation. But this feels like a great time to mention that we are going to be suspending the giveaways for the rest of the offseason, the loyalty points and whatnot. We're going to do the spin for the Amazon gift card a little later on tonight. Hendo won last month's loyalty points, so he got his gift already. But we're going to be suspending the loyalty points until the NFL season comes back around. Probably.
So 2 months, essentially.
Yeah.
2 months.
So like people forget Alyssa Thomas, one of the best players in the league, Connecticut Sun, 9-0, walking triple double every night. She actually owns the most triple doubles ever in the WNBA, I believe with 6. I think 6. It's a very young league. So also too, from a Maryland people, she also owns the all-time triple double record at the University of Maryland, not just women's, also men's. So overall, so shout out to Alyssa Thomas. No one likes her.
Basketball's trash.
Yeah, well, I was trying to give everyone some hope.
All right,
no one likes her.
Yeah.
No one likes her.
Right.
Literally, no. Like, you know, they don't say outwardly they don't like her, but she's done some things to piss people in the WNBA off. She hip checked Candace Parker and kind of like injured her and kind of like gave her some residuals, and she didn't. Kind of Candace Parker's career, kind of like the injuries kept mounting up. Yeah. Alyssa Thomas. The same girl who choked Angel Reese, but she's known Angel Reese since Angel was like a high schooler because, you know, from Maryland. She's from Maryland. But yeah, she's a dog, and she doesn't care who you are. She's gonna go after you. She's actually one of my favorite players. I like my people, you know, got a little dirt on them, you know, a little physical, getting a little, you know, probably throw a little elbow. I like me a good brawl once in a while. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know. Once in a while, and you know what? Keep being that loser, Brodny. You know, it's fine. But yeah, man, like she ain't scared of nobody.
More recently in UConn.
Whatever, man. Who?
All right. Stephen A. Oh, let's talk some Stephen A. Because we almost had an hour already. We got 2 more things to discuss.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah, it's almost time to go. We about to wrap this up. All right, look, Ferris, Stephen A. Smith, Monica McNutt. They get into it on First Take, and the argument started with these ridiculous comments, right? Oh, you're hurting the cash cow. This is what Stephen A. is saying. He's saying Stephen A. always says the wrong things. He's always on the wrong side of arguments. Okay,
like
sports and social issues. He's always on the wrong side of these arguments, and he does it on purpose, right? And when he gets called out on it, you know, he gets upset, he takes it personal, and he cries about it
all the time.
Then he did, you know, he went on his show and talked about how nobody's done more for women than he has, and you know, you wouldn't know who Monica McNutt was if it wasn't for him. And he started naming a list of women that he put on. Half of them he did not put on. He didn't put on Jamel Hill. He didn't put on Mina Kimes. Right?
Well, it was funny because under the tweet where they're playing that clip, every single reply was like, "I don't know Monica McNutt from First Take. I know her from working at the Knicks games."
Thank you.
For a fact, you know, alleged Knicks fan Stephen A. Smith, if he actually was a Knicks fan, would know that Monica McNutt has been the radio color person for the past 2 years, as well as been working in the studio for the past 5 years. Also, too, Monica McNutt, certified hooper, former starting guard at Georgetown University. And she was cooking at Georgetown. I love when they always drop her highlights. I'm like, yeah, That's my play-by-play person right there.
Yeah,
And he's apparently a Knicks fan. If he's a Knicks fan, he should have known Monica McNutt for the past 6 years. She's known for the Knicks for the past 6 years. And
this is Stephen A's MO. He's a liar. He's petty, right? And he deflects because all that he was saying, even if it were true, had nothing to do with what they were arguing.
Nope.
Had nothing to do with it, right?
Zero.
Stick to the issues. But he can't stick to the issues because he's either never prepared or he's willfully ignorant on purpose, right? He wants to push a narrative because he knows that's what will get clicks, that's what will get people, watching him. So he always says the wrong things. Fine, be that character. But when people call you out on it, don't take it to heart and start getting upset and then want to make it about something else, right? He's a big child. Coach says, so McNutt is done on first take. Well, that surprised me.
Probably.
And you know what? She don't need it.
No. Not really.
She don't need first take.
No, not really.
Nobody needs first take.
No,
because she said something truthful, bro. She said like she basically gave him a compliment and said, you have a massive platform. Means you've done the work and you've gotten famous. Which is like, thank you. She's like, you could have done this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You were
instead he waited until it was the hot topic.
Exactly. Like you could have done this. Like you had power over the show. 2 years ago, what was it? Has Max Kellerman been off for 3 years or 2 years?
It's been a while.
I don't know. I don't watch that show.
You had don't tell me you don't have power when you literally had the power to fire the co-host you'd stop liking.
Very popular co-host.
You had that. So don't tell me that oh man, let me, I probably couldn't do it because I had to talk to people. You told your producers to fire your co-host and they fired him for you. You don't think if you said to your producer 3 years ago, hey, I want to talk about the WNBA, give me a segment. We don't gotta make it for the entire show. I just want to touch on it. They would be like, no, Stephen A, we're not gonna give you that, but we'll get you the firing you wanted. So don't tell me you didn't have power. She's right. 3 years ago, you had power to highlight people you wanted to, but you didn't want to do that. And he mad. The truth hurts.
Chris White shouldn't. Nah, speak for yourself. Let me get that first take check. What do you think her check was?
She probably got a fee from man. They probably don't even get checks.
She's not a regular host.
No.
Yeah. Shannon and Stephen A. Sure.
Yes.
Molly now, not Molly when she first started. Yes. Outside of that, you're not getting paid anything.
Yeah, you're not getting extra. So they work for ESPN. They have an ESPN contract. When ESPN said, "Hey, we need you on this show at this time," you say, "Can you do it? Or can you not do it?" You probably say yes. They're not going to give you extra money.
Right.
They're not giving you extra money. You know what I mean? Like the people who show up on, you think the people who show up on Get Up get an extra bonus check for Get Up? It's like, nah, that's your job.
Yeah.
Today you're on Get Up, tomorrow you're on First Take. Your contract's your contract. It's not like, it's not how that works.
And yeah, you'll say, oh, well, yeah, well, it's, it's a big platform. It's Stephen A, it's Shannon, and you're cool with that, right? Until they touch on a subject that is serious for you, right? When they touch on something that you're gonna stand strong on, and you're not gonna come off of it, and then you get into a big argument about it, and then he goes on his show and starts talking dirty about you. Then it's different, right? Then it's, oh well, he disrespected me. Mm-hmm. I don't need this show like that, and she doesn't. And I think it's gonna come to that.
And here's the thing, man. The way Shannon and him did it, he then went on his podcast to say, "Man, look how ungrateful these women are. I put them on." Blah 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 blah. Shannon said, "Hey, Monica, you want to come on my show?"
Right.
Yep. I saw clips of that, and him and and Ocho they joked around with her about it. Yeah, because he's more professional. He's more professional than Stephen A.
Yeah. So here's the thing about it. That he told Monica, I've asked people to come on my show, and they've said no to me. And then Monica tells him the truth, because they don't feel comfortable coming on your show. Because they don't think you've built an environment for them to be comfortably talking about stuff. Because you had Gilbert Arenas on the show. Mm-hmm. And you expect them to say yes when you have Gilbert, who has been openly xenophobic, by the way. So I want to point that out. And it's Gilbert Arenas. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. I've watched some of his show, and I'm like, how the hell is this man famous? Because generally, like, this is my biggest problem with these former athletes that get on TV and say, you've never played the game. You don't know what the hell you talking about. And then they do shit like that. And you're like, I could have said that. And I've never played the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, the only reason he has credibility is that he has Josiah Johnson on the show.
No, Danny, no, you're right. He does go along with for the
That's true.
with the narratives for the clicks.
That's
as well.
true.
Absolutely.
That's why Monica had to tell him.
But he doesn't take it as personal as Stephen A does.
He's not a dick like Stephen A.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah, because he did have her on the show, and they were joking and laughing. You know, they were still kind of arguing a little bit, but it was a lighthearted mood. You know, all right, we have a difference in opinion slightly. You know, it's fine. We can joke about it. You know, it was heated argument on the show, but it ain't nothing. Stephen A's the one, even though he had time to think about it and cool off, decided, well, I'm gonna go on my platform and blast her some more and talk about all the women I put on, even though half of that was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like I said, you know, she told Shannon, like, hey, the reason people are saying no to you is that they don't think you real. They don't think you create a space for them to actually talk about this stuff. And she said it to his face last night when she was on the shows. Like, that's why they're saying no to you. Yeah. So Shannon can then say, okay, thank you, Monica, for that input, and then fix it, or he doesn't fix it.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I'm sure he won't.
But he's not going to put her on blast because of the comment.
Yeah, like exactly.
Stephen A. Wow.
And then a 34-minute response video.
Yeah.
When she wasn't there to argue back. But that's about enough of that, I guess.
Okay. All right. Before we go to court of public opinion. Okay. Danny says right here, hashtag road to 2,000. Yes. Road to 2,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. All right. Cash App, $LBHT Show. All right. That's how you get that nice animation on the screen where you see the microphone man doing the Park Heights strut. All right. You can either do that or click on the pin link that you see in the chat box that will take you to our Streamlabs page. Both ways, leave your donation, leave your comment, and get a nice little animation on the screen. All right. Thank you, Danny. And yes, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. You guys know about that. That's our Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, okay, you get access to our Discord and you get access to the Overtime Show, which is what happens right after this show. All right. Tonight is kind of an open mic night. You know, it's kind of slow in sports right now, but open mic lately, that seems to be our best shows. So come hang out with us. All right. Give it a try if you haven't been a member in the past. If you were and you sign up to our Discord, you're still in the Discord. We don't kick anybody out. Okay. Unless you do something to get kicked out. All right. So lots of benefits. Also, we got a coin here if you sign up for the $10 tier. All right. We got all kinds of benefits for signing up. So patreon.com/LBHT Show. Also go over to LBHTShow.com. All right. Sign up for our newsletter. It hasn't come out yet. We're working on it, but enter your email. All right. And send us a message. We suspended the point system. It's not gone forever, but send us an email. Tell us that you signed up. And when we bring the point system back in September, you get 1,000 points.
And another perk that we're going to be having here come July, when the EA College Football 25 comes out, we're going to be playing an online dynasty with our patrons. So if you're planning on getting the game, you're interested in an online dynasty, you can go ahead to patreon.com/LBHT Show, sign up, and get invited to the league. Give Ferris a beat down every other week. We're all planning to negative recruit against Ferris, steal his players in the portal. He doesn't appreciate it, but I say fight back, young man, and then we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm
Xbox and PlayStation pay the bills. We're gonna
fly to West Virginia.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight back.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, I won't do that. I won't step in foot in that state. Forget that.
Okay, we'll address this before we kick you out, Brandon. Many of the WNBA are bullying Clark because they don't view like the fact that she's straight. She's not part of the LGBTQ community. Brandon, that's a stupid comment.
I wasn't aware that she was the first straight player in the WNBA.
Yeah, apparently she's the only one. Apparently Edgy Wilson's gay. Apparently.
Nope.
You know,
it's not like any of them are married with kids, and
it's
it's not like it's not like we didn't do a story this time last year about Derricka Hamby, being bullied because of her pregnancy, right?
Yeah, like it's not like Skylar Diggins Smith is married with 2 kids and a loving husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey homie, I ain't no pussy, man. I'll fuck you up. I don't give a fuck. I ain't no fucking pussy. I don't give a shit, dog. 1601 Alcatraz Avenue.
No, time out.
I'm sorry, man. Watch your mouth. Sorry.
Danny, take care of Brad.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I blacked out. I'm so sorry. Jose, I'm so sorry, man. I apologize, bro.
Don't feed the trolls, man.
Sorry, I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
Okay. All right. Court of public opinion. All right.
Apparently Sabrina Ionescu's not straight.
Yeah. Like it's not a real court, but it's the court that matters. All right. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, fire it up. Oh, Ferris is not there.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to be quick this time, but it wasn't fast enough. Sorry about that.
Okay, we got it.
There we go.
All rise. Court is now in session. Look, it's the people versus the gambling degenerates. All right, represented by Jonte Porter. That's Ferris. I know. Jonte Porter and how you say his name? Marcano. The people versus Porter and Marcano. B.
No. Oh, you changed? Oh no,
I didn't do that. You did that.
No, I changed it. It must have been on the other one. Maybe it didn't save. I put versus the degenerates because I didn't want to. Let me go ahead and change that.
Well, that's who's representing the degenerates right there. All right. So, all right, what's going on with these guys? Hold on. Let me pull the first one up while B changes the headline. All right, first story. If y'all can read that, you probably can't. Let's maximize that. That doesn't make it any better. The NBA has banned.
MLB has banned
Tucupita Marcano permanently for betting on games involving his own team. He won just 4.3%
is bad
of the 231 MLB related bets he placed.
God, bro.
That's the first degenerate. All right. The second degenerate, let me find him. That's bad. The second one is Jonte Porter, who we previously discussed. All right. Jonte Porter allegedly had to throw games because he was in significant gambling debt.
Of course he was.
Federal prosecutors alleged that Porter had racked up large gambling debts in the beginning of the year to co-conspirators and was encouraged to clear those debts by throwing games in order for certain bets to hit. All right. Man, oh man. All right, let's talk about it, B. Let's talk. Okay, first, how much do you know about the Marcano guy, Ferris? How much do you know about this story?
Not that much. I just saw it a couple days ago. It came out of the blue. No one knew about this. It literally came out the blue out of nowhere because one, I think he plays in Pittsburgh, and two, no one cares about him. So that's why it wasn't the Shohei Ohtani thing where it was kind of like a long drawn out media story. They saw this guy who was probably, I think he's a utility infielder for Pittsburgh. And then they're like, you're like, if it was Andrew McCutchen on Pittsburgh, it would be a bigger story because it's Andrew McCutchen, but him, it's who the hell is this guy? You know? Like, who the hell is he? Like, that's why he was banned so quickly because he's not important. Like, he's not someone, that, it's like, you stink,
How do you get caught when you're losing most of your bets?
Exactly.
Like, usually it's when you're winning and people, That's when Vegas starts looking at like, wait a minute.
He's now San Diego now. Okay, yeah, he's in San Diego this year.
That's man.
You're bad.
You're bad all
You're
around.
bad.
You had the worst luck. Okay, you're not smart.
Every one of his parlays. Let that be a lesson to all of you degenerates in the chat. But yeah, and we should point out he didn't bet while he was playing the games. When he was in Pittsburgh, he had a season-ending knee injury and was betting on the games after that. And it's fine. But the other story that we've been talking about is Jonte Porter.
Now we recently we talked about Jonte Porter because he just got banned, right?
Yeah, man. You know what, man? There's two things about the story that I find hilarious about Jonte Porter. So his co-conspirator, his name is Long Fee Pham, right? That's his name, right? But they call him Bruce. Why do they call him Bruce? Probably because they think he looks like Bruce Lee. But I don't. It's like that's racist. And two is when I was reading the story, there's a point where Jonte Porter is in like a Telegram chat or a WhatsApp chat or whatever chat. He said, and he tells the group, he said, "Hey, yo, guys, I think we about to get hit with a RICO." Like, y'all got to start deleting messages and destroying stuff. And I'm like,
hey, guys, let's try to delete all this illegal activity we've been doing, okay? Illegal activity on 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's how you know, like, yo, they probably trying to stay witness. Because, like, with famous people, when they're in these big old crimes, the government always tries to make them the snitch or the witness, right? Like, we'll give you a lighter sentence, we'll give you house arrest, whatever, if you then tell us who the bad people are, right? So, I don't know if he's the snitch yet, but if I was him, I think they're probably trying to change him into becoming a snitch to rat out other people.
Didn't I say, when we had Jonte Porter on trial the first time, that he needs to throw himself at the mercy of the court?
Yeah.
I said that. I said he needs to be like, hey, I'm sorry. He needs to be out there with his pastor. Like, I made a terrible mistake. And if this story is true, yeah, absolutely. You got to be the first to cop a plea and say, hey, look, they were threatening me. Okay, I didn't have a choice. My life I feared for my life.
Yes, Jeremy. He says, so you can bet on, or you can't bet on games, but it's okay if Draymond goes to therapy, and apparently he's learned after choking Rudy. Yes. Mm-hmm. One goes to the integrity of the game and will tank your league, and one is, hey, he choked a guy that none of us like.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, like, you suspend him and you move on. That's not a league-ending issue. But yeah, that's kind of the point that we want to get to here, right? Jonte Porter, who he got an indefinite ban from the NBA, correct?
Yes,
lifetime.
Yep. Oh, was it lifetime for him as well?
Lifetime. Yeah, he's done. Okay. He's done.
Well, I mean, he was done regardless. But yeah, so we got this lifetime ban in the MLB. We got this lifetime ban in the NBA. Calvin Ridley was suspended. Jameson Williams was suspended in the NFL, along with a lot of other, lesser known players. So the question here is, should athletes be allowed to bet at all on anything?
I think they should. On if you play in baseball, I actually had this conversation with Adelia, and she probably looked at me crazy when I said this. Actually, here's the thing. I think, betting is, personally, I don't think betting should be, period, because betting is bad, in my opinion. And people, there's a lot of money. And of course the leagues want a piece of that money, right? Mm-hmm. So you're embedded with the betting apps and the people in them. You're getting a lot of money, right? So the players should then get a piece of that as well. So you're allowed to bet on non-team, like if you're a baseball player, you can bet on every other sport not named baseball. I think because it's not ruining your game. You're not doing it, but then the problem is,
God, Jeremy, I'm sorry, Ferris. I'm sorry. My man Jeremy said, I've never seen the issue with betting on games, regardless if you're involved or not. Well, let me illustrate it for you. It's 100 to 99. There's 0.5 seconds left in the game. You got fouled. You're at the free throw line, but you and all your friends bet a bunch of money on your team to lose. You miss the free throws on purpose. Game over.
Yeah, there's been point shaving scandals in college left and right. There's the Boston College point shaving scandal back in the 80s. That involved actually involved Henry Hill, the main character of Goodfellas. That guy. It involved him.
The White Sox.
The White Sox. It's
The
personally
kid from Arizona State, whose name I can never remember.
who?
From Arizona State, the basketball player. Stiths or something.
Something like that. Personally, if it was me, like, you can't bet on no sport. Like, but then you can't keep taking money from the gambling people, then say you can't bet. So don't take money from the gambling people.
Tony and Blue Chips. There it is.
Living legend, Tony.
Tony Blue Chips, yeah.
Making all the points right now.
Exactly, man. So like,
no, there's a lot wrong with it, right? And yes, compromising. And you had former mobsters, talk about how they would get players to run up debt with them, making bets and whatnot. And once they get to a point where they can't pay it, then they have them shave points,
right?
And like B said, that goes to the integrity of the game. No, I don't think they should be able to place any bets, right? For that very reason, because like with Jontay Porter right now, like we're not talking about it because Jontay Porter was an insignificant player, but that's the scenario that you can't have happen in your sport.
No.
And I think even though we're seeing these instances of players getting suspended, getting banned from their respective leagues, I think what's happening now is a very good thing because sports betting is legal everywhere now, right? It's everywhere, and they have to show. Well, not everywhere, but I mean it's spreading, and they're trying to make it everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. And they're trying to show that this isn't going to hurt the integrity of your sport, of any sport. And in order for that to happen, you have to make hard examples out of players, right? And this is what's happening. It's showing that, yes, players are going to try to game the system. They're going to try to get around it, but we will catch them and we will punish them harshly.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that it's unfortunate these two guys who are role players. You know what I mean? We need to see it. We need, like, let's say if it's LeBron, hypothetical situation, that he better get the same ban. You know what I mean? Like, because the example of Jontay Porter, people are like, whatever, it's Jontay Porter, whatever. But if it was LeBron, that's the question. It is like, what if it's like LeBron or Anthony Edwards or like one of these new people, like young LeBron, not even like 38 LeBron. Like, let's say it's 25-year-old LeBron in his prime and he did this.
Well, yeah, I think that you I don't think there's any question that it would be the same kind of swift kind of justice, if you want to call it that. But because those players, Jontay Porter, this guy Marcano, we can all kind of look at that and be like, yeah, whatever. They weren't anybody. They weren't making a lot of money. They're stupid, blah blah blah. If a guy like LeBron gets himself compromised and he has to start, shaving points, or another example, Jason Tatum. Right. So we can look at two examples there. Right. You got Jason Tatum in the finals a couple years ago. First game in the NBA finals, he scored, I believe, 12 points. And then in the final game, he scored like 13 points. Right. LeBron, years ago when they played Dallas, when he was with Miami, every fourth quarter of that series, he looked like a completely different player. He choked in that series. Now, right now, we can say, hey, those guys choked. If you wake up tomorrow and you find out those guys shaved points, they threw the series, are you watching basketball anymore?
No.
Are you ever going to trust that what you're watching is real ever again?
No. That's what Just Allo said about pro wrestling. He talked about when he found out it wasn't real, people got mad. That's why for years pro wrestling wanted to make sure nobody knew that they were faking it. Like, I remember a story of Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik. They were in like a program where they hated each other's guts, but then they were stopped in Arkansas and were arrested together in a car with marijuana and some drugs. And they didn't get fired because they had the marijuana and the drugs. Like, that's not why they got fired. They got fired because they were caught together being friends. And WWE was like, you can't do that. You hate each other.
Yeah. Jeremy,
You know,
please,
well, I'll
please,
forgive I'll forgive the cocaine you
Right.
had in your trunk, but you gotta be in separate cars.
Jeremy, please keep hilariously missing the point. Sorry.
Wait, hold on. Yes, Jay. What's up, Jay? He says Jada6 says people are getting sniped today in the comments. Yeah. Do your jobs. Snipe these people. That's what you have the wrenches for.
So because it would change the thing. If I find out LeBron choked away the 2011 series because he was throwing that game.
Let me address this from Jeremy. I somewhat agree that it's harder to compromise a superstar like LeBron James, right? Those shady type of people aren't going to get anywhere near LeBron, right? You got to go through his handlers.
Not necessarily, because it doesn't have to be money. Well, that's what we're talking about right now. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, you can be compromised in any number of ways.
I'm not saying it's impossible.
You know?
I'm not saying it's impossible.
It almost happened to Shohei. It was very close to Shohei.
But yes, you know, his friend. But what I'm saying is, even for the person that's trying to get a player in his pocket, they don't want a big fish like that, right? They want to be inconspicuous. They want the Jonte Porters, right? They want those. They want those levels.
Being honest, you probably want a step or two above Johnson. You're trying to affect the outcome of games.
You want a Michael Porter?
No, because when you're talking about spreads, right? It always comes down to a couple points at the end, and when the guys are in at garbage time, they're the ones that really affect some of these lines.
But what I'm saying is, he plays 13, 14 minutes a night. You want somebody who you know is going to be out there enough to affect the game.
With him, you don't. They get more than one. It's not like, we're throwing our money on them, but like, hey, we got Jonte Porter over here, we got this person over here, right? Like that's how you try to do it. The lower level guys that they hope will fly under the radar. But when Jonte Porter is getting nervous because he made a free throw, it's just like.
There's actually a great documentary. I know this is a sport no one watches in America. It was this documentary on Netflix about betting and corruption in cricket in India, like in India's cricket like pro league. It was a very good documentary. How they found out it was all tied to like this mob boss, and then it was like all like intertwined to like. It went from mob boss to like street level dealers. And then there was like this one dude who was in charge of like, where he would then call like, people on the team to tell people to do stuff. There was like a special phone he had. It was pretty cool. And, the journalists found out about it, and then they went after them, and then they kind of like, they found out about like this great cricket South African. His name was, I think it's Hansi Kolja. They found out he was betting on games, and he's like one of the GOATs. And they found out he was betting on games, and he was basically like Kobe in there, and then it ruined his legacy. And he's a disgrace in South Africa for it too. So it can get the LeBrons. It can get the LeBrons. It can get them. It can get them. You may not think it can get them, but it will get them. Yeah. It will get them easy.
Okay, I see what's going on. Danny said, my bad, I had a phone call, but I'm back. All right.
And I think that's part of, like you were saying, as a being less conspicuous, because people don't believe you can get to a player like LeBron. LeBron makes all that money, blah blah blah. Steph Curry has all this money. You can't. You're not gonna. He doesn't need to do it, like Jeremy said, right? So it makes it harder to believe right off the bat that those guys are doing it. Yeah, we all believe Jonte Porter did it as soon as we heard the story.
Exactly. And honestly, like, I think we can all agree, like no betting, period. Yeah. Like nothing. But then the thing you must ask for the league is, so don't accept the money from them. Don't have deals with DraftKings and FanDuel. Don't do that. And then you then have to bar sports betting, and you can't have something, like should the NFL not have deals with them, but it's legal in America? Probably.
Right.
Like that. And that's the question you ask, like, should we ban betting, period?
Well, that's why it was banned for all this time because of that. But, they're looking, these billionaires are always looking for ways to squeeze even more money out of our society. And they're like, hey, well, people bet. Let's just take a cut out of that. Let's just make it legal and take that money too. Is it immoral? Who cares? We don't care
Damn,
about
just
morals.
Aloe. That sounds like a specific example, my guy.
Just Aloe says finding out that a game you believe in might be fixed is like finding out your father and another family down the street has another family down the street. Then someone wants you to call the other kid your brother. Yeah, that is very specific. Just Aloe.
How old is your brother, just Aloe?
Yeah, how old is he? Just Aloe. What's his name?
Were you both eating around Pop-Tarts?
Did you drink the root beer and watch Captain Chesapeake in anger?
Did you get past the anger and just realize, hey, that wasn't his fault, and now you two have bonded?
It's like finding out that it's not his fault that he's born. You know what I mean? It's fun.
All right. Do you want to put up a poll for this?
He speculated.
Hearsay. It's all hearsay.
I heard this from a friend of a friend. Hey, just Aloe, I just want you to know.
Help just Aloe heal. Good Lord.
I just want to say, just Aloe, we're here for you.
All right, let's do a poll, and then we gotta do some submitted question. I think it's just one question.
No, there's 3.
There's 3. Oh, okay. Got 3 questions.
Hey man, I just realized, man. I know when we did the roundup, man. I met just Aloe, man, and I was like, how you doing, my good sir? And I didn't know it was him, and then he said his name. I was like, yo.
That's right. You did meet him there.
Yeah.
All right. So I put it together here. We're essentially just gonna go real quick. Bet no. Oh, that's the wrong one. My bad.
Hashtag.
Yes. Hashtag bet or hashtag no bet. Or if you think athletes should be allowed to bet on sports at all.
Now, keep in mind we're talking about professional athletes. Don't think this applies to you because you play at your local gym every other Friday. You're like, well, I'm athletic-ish, right? And I like to
okay, Brodny.
bet on parlays.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to position it so people can see. My bad. There we go. We'll put it over Jose's face.
Hashtag bet. Hashtag no bet. Okay.
There we go.
So when we're talking Pat McAfee.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about Pat McAfee.
You want to talk about Pat?
He's guilty.
It's your show.
Pat. Well, I mean, you just brought it up live on air, so I mean, I guess it's all of our show right now, right?
Pat McAfee.
Right.
Let's knock that out real quick.
Go ahead. What is your opinion on Pat McAfee? I can give you my opinion real quick.
Recap.
Pat McAfee is a cancer on sports media, and we need to get rid of him.
Okay, hold on. Ferris, recap real quick the clean version of what he said, which is why we're talking about him right now.
So Pat McAfee, on the YouTube stream of his show, because like a part of his shows starts on YouTube, then it gets transferred over to ESPN, right? So it's like simul streamed. So on the YouTube Pat McAfee show, he calls Caitlin Clark this white B word. You know, he meant, you know, he says he meant it in an affectionate, propping up way, like because it was after the Kennedy Carter situation where he was like, this white B word is out here, you know, balling for everybody, and he called Caitlin Clark the B word, and everyone like, you know, was like, bro, what are you doing here, man? Like, that's crazy, because that's justifiable. You can fire Pat McAfee for cause and not pay out his contract if you fire him there, because it's like, one, it's like it's beyond unprofessional, and two, it's sexist. You know. So yeah.
Here's the thing on Pat McAfee, right? He's a big child, right? Like,
massive.
He was trying to make a point that I can say what I want to say, and you can't really do anything about it because he owns his property, right? So he doesn't work for ESPN. He partners with ESPN.
Yeah.
Right. That show is his show.
Exactly.
They essentially licensed the show. Okay. So he did it before when he called out the ESPN execs. We talked about that on the show as well, right? He's called
got him fired too.
What, the exec?
Nobry Williamson got fired afterwards. He was let go. Let go.
Yeah.
They parted ways.
Because he's like, yeah, I can call anybody out. I can say what I want to say because he is his own boss, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I can respect that. Like he has control of his show. Yes, you see it on ESPN and you think he works for ESPN. He doesn't work for ESPN.
No.
They're in partnership, and he still has his YouTube show going very strong. He turned down a bigger deal from DraftKings
FanDuel.
or FanDuel, yes, to take this contract with ESPN. ESPN ain't the only show in town for him by any stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just another thing where he just like, I can say what I want to say because I'm Pat McAfee. I can say it. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care about professionalism. I'm gonna say it. And it fell flat because yeah, we get it. Like, you're Pat McAfee, but like, what's the point of saying that other than you just want to be a jerk?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like literally, like ESPN has fired people for less.
Yeah.
You know, like you just can't be out here. Like I know you're partners, right? But like you are associated with like ESPN, you're associated with the ESPN brand. You can't be doing that. You know, you just can't be doing that. One, two, like that's not cool. Like he's invaded College Game Day, right? I love College Game Day, and there's moments where he's funny and all. You know, they're kind of grooming him to replace Lee Corso in a sense because Lee's getting up there in age. He's not going to make all the College Game Days all the time. You know, Lee shouldn't come back next year because last year it was kind of rough to watch Lee. So they're kind of using Pat as kind of like we're grooming Pat to basically replace Lee, and his apology wasn't an apology. It was kind of like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, and I was like, yeah, we know you shouldn't have said that. Like. Yeah, no stuff.
That's what got us to this point where you were supposed to say, "I'm sorry."
Exactly. You know, he was like, "I meant it in affectionate ways." Like, I don't know what you're talking about, my man. Like what goes through your mind? Like this, like he isn't special. You know,
there's a tornado. I'm sorry. There's a tornado warning for anyone who's out driving or is out in the Baltimore area. Be careful.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Because like the thing that's crazy to me is that like he the only thing, if you took away his punting career, his 9-year punting career, he's just like another one of these podcast dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, funny enough, I say that as I am on a podcast. But you're like yeah, he's not special.
No.
Ain't nothing about him special. Like literally nothing. Like I never understood the hype around him. And I was like, oh, it's Pat McAfee, the punter dude from the Colts who like hit Trendon Holiday. Well, of course he hit Trendon Holiday. The man was 5'3". Like of course you tackled him. Like you better have tackled him. You know what I mean? Like he is gotten too much credit for doing what?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Somewhat shocking. The LBHT crew and chat has voted that athletes should not be able to bet ever on anything. With the number of degenerates in the chat, I did not see that one coming. But good on you for being responsible citizens.
Congratulations. All right. We got to move. Submit questions time.
We're going to submit questions right now? Okay.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half in.
Head up the submitted questions then. I was fast enough that time, though.
How?
Got him in there that time.
Good. All right.
Props to me.
All right. First question. We got 3.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Let's get this one out of the way first, since we haven't talked to any Ravens or anything. This is from Kurt. He says, word on the street is Lamar didn't know he would lose $750K. When will Lamar actually hire smart people around him and show up to OTAs so we can win a Super Bowl? And I wish, I don't know if Kurt is here, but I wish he is here. I hope he's here so that he can explain to me the correlation between having an agent and the Baltimore Ravens winning a Super Bowl.
Kurt, we don't know you. You're probably a smart person, but this is a stupid question. Okay. You know, some people say there's no such thing as a dumb question. No, this is a dumbass question.
I'm very confused. Why? What do you mean? Why would he lose $750K?
About not showing up to OTAs.
Yeah.
There was a bonus tied to him showing up to OTAs, apparently. That's the word. And then, he didn't show up, so he would lose that $750K.
So basically what he's trying to say is, because his agent is his mom, he's trying to say is, his mom didn't know that he could lose $750K and he should have shown up to OTAs because, that's where championships are won. That's where Super Bowls are won. You know, we don't know why he didn't show up. It's not our business, right? You guys love it when players take cuts, right? Take a cut. You loved it when Ryan Stanley had to take a cut. You know, you want Marlon Humphrey to take a cut. You love it when players take a cut.
I mean, Marlon Humphrey should take a cut just for being an idiot, but you know, that's another conversation.
You know, like you love it when players, you know, sacrifice their money, but all right, Lamar says, I don't want to do OTAs for whatever reason. You know, I'll give the $750K, which is really more like 300 something after they take out, you know, taxes and fees and all that stuff.
Regardless of how much it is, like, he didn't show up for whatever reason. He didn't show up. Maybe he didn't know, right? Maybe he wanted the money and didn't know. Has nothing to do with you winning. Absolutely nothing at all.
No. He showed up to OTAs last year. Did we win?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. What about the year before? I think he showed up the year before. Did we win that?
Nope.
Year? Oh, okay. All right. There's no correlation to going to OTAs and winning Super Bowls.
All right. So next up, this one is from our guy Jared. He says, what draft pick from this class do you think will play the best this season? Talking about the Ravens and Panthers, and I guess the Giants, since Ferris is here as well. So you want to start us off, Ferris?
Malik Neighbors.
Damn right.
Okay. Do you think that's still true with Daniel Dimes and or Drew Lock throwing him the ball?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Drew Lock, a.k.a. Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
Jose?
I mean, I'm just out of necessity. I'm going to say Rosengarten.
Yeah. Kind of has to be him, right?
It has to be.
Yeah. Because y'all got rid of Morgan Moses. So you need your right tackle too.
Yeah. For Carolina, I'm going to say Jonathan Brooks. I'm still not 100% sold on Xavier. And I think that running back is one of the easier positions to transition to the league. I think he's going to take over that job. You know, I mean, he's obviously not fully healthy yet, but they say he'll be healthy for training camp. So I think he'll take over that job, and he's going to have a very productive season behind their rebuild O-line. And our last submitted question for this evening, this one is especially for you, Ferris, from our guy Jeremy. What do you think of Darren Waller's musical breakup?
Oh my God.
Thank you to Jeremy, Jared, and Kurt for submitting the question. I want to give Ferris a moment to think about this one. It obviously hit him hard.
Oh my God. Someone shoot me, man. I'll say this, man. That last song sounded pretty good. Okay, all right.
It sounded like somebody who had some money to spend and played around in the studio. It sounded exactly like that. Hey, you know, good for him. I got money. I ain't got to play football anymore. I'm gonna make some music.
Just Allo's correct. He is Fat Waller's grandson.
Yeah.
You know.
He don't sound like him though.
So old.
Hey, yo, Brandon, man. You know what? You want to compromise your morals with money? You can go do that, man. But I'll also compromise your fucking face with my foot. So you go out that mouth. I'm sorry, man. All right, come on. All right, sorry. I swear to God, bro.
Don't read his comments.
All right, whatever, man. Screw him.
You know what I really love about it? Like, he's been banned multiple times and just feels the need to come back in and continue to comment.
Hey, keep coming back. Keep clicking on the video. Keep leaving comments. That gets our engagement up. You know, we'll keep. Yeah,
he is Fat Waller. Back to more important matters. He is Fat Waller's grandson, who's a legendary musician. So he does have a musical gene. I don't know if it's good or not. He did have a great line about Byron Leftwich that I thoroughly enjoy. But overall, please God, stop rapping or singing or whatever. Like, if you want to retire, that's fine.
It's the rapper. It's the family shit.
If you wanna, retire, that's perfectly fine. You can retire. It's fine. I'm cool with it. But
no, this is big time facts right here from Pay the Bills.
Just to be fair.
It wasn't
I
any
think-
worse than Gus Edwards' music.
Hey. If we're comparing, I think it's better than Gus Edwards' music. Okay.
That video was awful. And it got worse as it went on.
Okay, see, here's the thing. I didn't watch that one. I watched the one where he was sitting in the chair rapping. That one was way better. That's the one where had the Byron Leftwich line.
I didn't listen. I heard the one that was
the one with the fake
Mom.
Yeah, that one I didn't listen to because I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna.
Well, that's what he's asking about, Ferris. It was the breakup music.
Oh, that one? I didn't watch.
Wow.
I didn't watch it. I watched the other one.
What does Kelsey Plum think of it?
Thank the Lord I got that divorce.
All right, that is all of the submitted questions for this evening. We do have a trivia question. It's just for fun at this point. And I guess, well, actually, we should do the
spin.
To do the spin. I'm gonna ask the question, then we'll do the spin. Trivia time. And Ferris, do not blurt out the answer.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain you'll know the answer. Do not control yourself.
All right.
Between 1990 and 1999, Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith each led the league in rushing 4 times. Who led the league in the other 2 years? And I'll go ahead and do the spin right now.
What years?
1990 and 1999. I'll even give a hint. Barry and Emmitt led from 90 up to 90 through 97. So it was 98 and 99.
I know who it is.
Now we got the spin for our $25 Amazon gift card. Let me go ahead and hit that spin button. Where is the spin button? Where did the spin button go?
And yes, we are suspending. After this, we're suspending the giveaways just for 2 months. When the NFL season starts, we'll be back with it. But if you want to rack up some points, in between now and then, right? You want to start September with a bunch of points. Two ways. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. You sign up to our Patreon, we will get you your points. We will carry them over. Okay. Also, sign up to our newsletter that hasn't come out yet. You go over to LBHTShow.com. When the pop-up window comes up, put your email address in there. Send us a message, email, DM, whatever. Let us know that you signed up. 1,000 points. All right, we will carry that over into September. Anybody that signs up for the newsletter, anybody that signs up for Patreon, will get points starting out in September. All right.
Man, handle one with only 3,000 points, really?
And here we go. We're gonna hit the spin button, and we'll see who's got it this month. Come on,
Just
let's go.
All right.
Hey.
Congratulations, Just Aloe. Whatever.
Just Aloe, you get a $25 Amazon gift card. All right. That's the last prize until September. All right. What you talking about? Who's gonna give me those key? What are you talking about, E?
No, he's asking about the yams, and he said, "Who's gonna give me those, Zay?"
What yams?
Yeah.
You promised him yams?
I don't know. I
didn't know you could promise yams. Who here wants yams?
Just how I love this game.
All right, we're gonna get that straight to you. Yes, congrats to Just Aloe. All right, we are getting out of here. Over to the show.
I'm saying, I'm looking in the chat, and half the people didn't even put 2 names, which is incredible. But the correct answers are Terrell Davis and Edgerrin James of the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, so I didn't know it.
Who did you think it was?
Was it Ian Thomason and Marshall Faulk?
No.
Yeah, no. They were 2000s running backs.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have timed out Lance.
Huh?
Who? I didn't time out anybody.
No, Danity did.
Time out who?
Hey, look, Danny.
Alex Lynn.
Sorry. Yeah,
that's messed up, Danny.
No.
You ain't get that smoke for Brandon, Danny.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours, but look.
What? You promised him yams?
No, I didn't know.
I've never ever heard someone say, "Yo, man, give me the yams."
No. That's not what that means. All right. We're getting out of here. Okay.
Wow.
Ferris, let the people know where they can find you.
All right. First of all, I'd like to apologize. I let him get to me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know this is probably gonna be the last time I ever be on the show. Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to be back next week, right?
You're contractually obligated to do the show every Wednesday for the WNBA segment. At the very
Okay.
least.
All right. I didn't know it's on, but thank you. I do want to apologize. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
But yes, you can find me on the Let's Get Ready Network channels. It's two every Friday, 3:00 Pacific. It's on our highlights channel, our sports channel. It's me and Caleb do Good Friends, Better Rivals, where we talk NFC, Cowboys, Giants, and overall NFC. Coming up this week, we're going to rank the positional groups of all the members of the teams, and we'll find out who's first, who's last. The Giants are probably going to be last on a couple of them. I just know. And also on Fridays at 8:00 Pacific is the Open Table. It's coming back. Probably do a show recapping the reason why we were off for the past couple weeks. Because I graduated. Yes, I am a college-educated man. I have a degree. I work 6 years. I have 3 actually. 2 of them minors. 1 is a major. I appreciate you. And probably go through all the emotions of graduating. And then occasionally I will hop on the Rewatchers Council, which is every Thursday, 3:00 Pacific, where we go through one of the greatest TV shows of all time, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, due to its cultural impact, and finding out what the show's all about. And we're coming up with new ideas with our tennis show. So make sure to watch out for that.
Nice. And you getting a bunch of congrats in the chat. Well deserved. All right. Appreciate it. All right. And appreciate to this troll who keeps signing up with new with new accounts to give us more views.
If he was actual smart, no one cared about Marshall Faulk in the 90s because he was stolen in the abyss of the Indianapolis Colts, who almost ruined his career until he got traded to St. Louis in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he became the Marshall Faulk that we all know and love. Well, a lot of people don't like him because he also got fired for sexual harassment at NFL Network, but we don't talk. That's a conversation for a different story. Just like he's an idiot.
Danity, like you were all over Ilax Lens. Where are you at?
No, Danity got him.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Danity got him.
All right, we ready to get out of here?
Yes. I'm just being a dummy here. Apparently.
All right. Overtime show, which we're overdue for. Yes, hit the subscribe button. He already subscribed. He's subscribed. He's watching, and he'll try to come back next week. But look, that's fine. We got our snipers in the chat. All right. Yeah, you did it first. You got him, Dan.
Come back, Brandon. We come back. Come back next week, man. Come back next week.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Come back next week.
Sign up for as many accounts as you. That's exactly what I want you to do. Sign up for many accounts.
Subscribe on all 8 of your burners.
Yeah, hit subscribe. Everybody else do the same. All right. Yes, phenomenal show.
Brandon might get 2,000 by himself.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Pay the bill says, what was the trivia answer? Oh, pay the bills.
Jesus Christ.
Come over to the Overtime Show. We'll tell you. All right, we got to start. All right, Patreon members, Overtime Show is getting ready to start. Stay tuned. Everybody else, thank you very much. B, are you ready? I forgot to ask.
I'm ready.
He is ready. Everybody have a great night.
One more thing.
Yes.
Next week, we'll actually talk about WNBA hoops. We got you.
There you go. All right, we will see you next time. Peace.